Now, live from Studio 550, this is The McGraw Show on KTRS.
Little over a week or so, you will be voting on the arch tax if you live in the city or the county of St. Louis. $106 million they want to raise will go to the arch grounds. Keener Plaza, the old courthouse, up along the Mississippi Riverfront. $69 million in matching federal funds. $209 million in private funds. How much is it going to cost you? 2 cents for every $10 you spend. Let's go to Bill on line 3. Bill, you were on KTRS Radio.
Good morning, McGraw.
Hi, Bill. Turn your radio down, Bill.
Okay. No, I love your show, and you're very informative and informative.
Well, thank you very much.
I have a question. I'm going to reiterate on the young lady that called earlier about downtown. She's talking about surrounding area of downtown. In order to get downtown, she had to go through the bad neighborhood. And how about cleaning up that area to make it safe to get down to the safe area of downtown? You know, it's okay to build up the arch and all that good stuff, but how about cleaning up the bad neighborhood and infested downtown?
Well, look, I don't know about you, but I wasn't Washington Avenue Skid Row at one point? Didn't?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But you know what? When they got rid of Skid Row people, they pushed it right on the outside where it is right now.
Well, that's a whole other issue. I mean, what happens to Skid Row people when you gentrify an area, Bill? What happens to the people who live there? I mean, they don't all of a sudden get rich. They just move somewhere else.
That's right.
Right. So, I mean, that's a bigger societal ill that I don't think we have enough time to discuss here. But that's not anyone's fault for not wanting to redo the arch grounds.
Well, if you're going to raise the money to beautification somewhere, one particular spot, you should use the money also. In a bad spot.
But Bill, let's just say for example, I could wave a magic wand, okay? And I could raise all sorts of tax dollars and grants and private funds to funnel into North City and spend billions, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, New York City, right? Harlem used to be a very depressed area, okay? Now President Clinton has his office there. You drive through Harlem, you wouldn't believe the beautiful buildings they've saved, and it's being gentrified, and middle class and upper class people are moving in, right?
Well, McKenzie wanted to do that, and everybody shot him down.
Well, no, you're right. But what happened to the people who used to be in Harlem? They just went somewhere else. So if you are to fix North County, that's great. But then the people who live there won't be able to live there anymore.
Well, that's the same thing happened to Washington Avenue.
Well, no, exactly, right.
Same thing happened to Washington Avenue. And so what you're doing now is the same thing you're doing to the arch ground.
Well, I don't know. We're not kicking anybody. Nobody's living on the arch grounds. No one's living in the old courthouse. We are actually connecting, among other things, as well as more parks, as well as more bike paths, which is a quality of life issue for many people. We're also connecting the arch to the rest of the city. We're not kicking anybody out. We're actually making it more inviting for people who might want to actually live downtown, or who might want to bring their buildings downtown, or might want to move their offices to downtown. Not to mention the tourists who will actually enjoy downtown more. Not to mention, when it's all said and done, it's a quality of life issue. You know what? A lot of my tax dollars goes to helping the indigent, helping the poor, helping the drug addicts, helping the people who can't afford their own health insurance, kids who don't have good parents. My tax dollars go to a lot of those things. How about my tax dollars going to something that I might like a park or a bike path? Or you know what? When my college buddy comes to town, take him to the arch and not have him walk the death rope as he goes across the depressed section of Highway 40. Bill, thanks for the phone call. Let's go to Glenn on line 5. Glenn, you're on KTRS.
Morning, McGraw. I was just commenting on the arch, how the legs are starting to corrode. Is there a reason for stainless steel to corrode?
I'm sorry.
For that matter?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I missed that.
The legs on the arch.
Yes.
Why are they corroding or rusting for that matter?
Are the legs on the arch corroding or rusting?
Yes, it was on the news about a month or so ago. You haven't been down there lately to see it?
I'm down there all the time. I did not inspect the arch legs. I was looking at somebody else's legs.
Do we have some kind of warranty on that?
A warranty? I don't know. Is 50 years a long enough warranty? I would think at some point the arch would need some type of restoration, just like the Statue of Liberty needed some type of restoration. I think, though, the arch got a clean bill of health, whatever it was. I think it did get a clean bill of health. But I'm sure at some point it's going to need to be freshened up. I mean, nothing lasts forever. Jim, line 2, you're on KTRS.
Oh, McGraw, come on. I thought you lasted forever.
Oh, no, I just go and go and go, baby.
Hey, I'm guessing that when they first initiated this tax purpose, and I'm all for it, by the way, this tax purpose for the arch grounds, is that it was standing by itself, and then they threw the park issue into it. Is that kind of correct?
Well, I don't know exactly. I know Senator Danforth was talking about this for years.
Yeah.
He wanted to sort of connect the arch to the rest of the city. But maybe they did a larger parks and trails and everything else, maybe to sort of make it more viable or more popular.
Right. But the only problem I have with that is we already pay, as a county taxpayer, we already pay on our real property taxes a certain percent to go toward county park maintenance, they call it.
Right.
And that's the only thing is that, this will make Dooley real happy, but I'm kind of like...
Well, look, Jim, since you live in the county and I live in the city, we're also paying for people to enjoy the free zoo.
Oh, don't get me started.
Right? I mean, yeah, no, I'm, with people, the free zoo. No, it's not. It's not free to you, and it's not free to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks, McGraw.
You got it, Jim. Thanks for the phone call. 948 here on the Big 550 KTRS. Just think about this for a second. We all talk about the future, right? What are we leaving for our children? We're leaving a pile of debt for our children. Well, what else are we leaving for our children? What are we leaving St. Louis for our children, right? Our forefathers passed the tax in 1935. Imagine St. Louis today if that tax would have failed. Imagine St. Louis without the arch. We can't. Somebody had to pay for it. The tax passed. Our forefathers passed it. Our forefathers thought futuristically. Now they were thinking about us. So what do we say to them going forward? What do we say to the next generation? What do we say to 3 or 4 generations from now? Sorry, we didn't want to spend the money to make it a better area for you. This opportunity is not going to come around again. It's just not. Being what it is, this could be the last best chance to really do something about the arch, to do something about the riverfront, to make some type of structure set up so that we can have better parks and better maintenance on the parks and more bike paths and better bike paths and maintaining the bike paths and the parks. And if you're against it, if you're against this arch tax, you're really against the future of St. Louis. So don't call yourself a St. Louis. Don't call yourself a civic leader. Don't call yourself somebody who cares about the future of St. Louis if you're voting against this. Is it perfect? No. Is money going to be wasted? Probably. Did you get everything you wanted? No. But when it's all said and done, you have some pretty important people here and some pretty prominent people and some people you can trust behind it who are trying to do the right thing. Dave, you'll have the last word on KTRS.
Thank you. I am in favor of the tax. I've been waiting for over 30 years for them to develop that area around the arch.
Dave?
And that's the best thing we can do.
Dave, I thank you for the phone call.
Thank you.
You got it.
Opportunity.
You got it. Thank you, Dave. Nice. We'll end on that one. This comes from our friend Nick Pister at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, September 24th, 2012. Corrosion and stains visible on the arch surface is cosmetic and doesn't threaten the monument's structure, according to a new engineering report. Thank you, Nick Pister. 9:50. We'll come back and wrap it up. KTRS.